Welcome back, guys. We are going to start going over example 1 in your book, making a box and whisker plot. Now, I am actually going to go through the click-through example. So right now, we've got a box maker. We need to make a box and whisker plot that represents the ages of the members of a backpack expedition in the mountains. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nice. They gave us 12, so it's going to break up into 4 groups pretty easily. Now, when you're setting these up, it is always a good idea to just rearrange them. Okay? So that's the first thing they did. They put them in ascending order, and now we have our minimum and our maximum highlighted. Now we broke it into 2 equal groups. Okay, we have our lower half and our upper half. And remember, if these numbers aren't exactly the same, or if there's not one number in the middle, you'd have to add them up and divide by 2 to find the median. Okay. Then we have to find the numbers in the middle. So that's how we got our first and third quartiles. You have to find the median of each group. So let me actually show that to you guys. I'm going to actually list that out, and I'm going to use your guys' notes to do it. Let's hope the camera works better with me this time. Okay. So now we've got all our numbers. The first thing you should have done is to put them in ascending order. So when you're doing this, please make sure you're meticulous about it. Go through, okay, the lowest number is 18. 22, 22. And I already know I'm going to run out of room. 25. 25. And there's a third 25 I did not use. That's what I'm talking about being meticulous on this. You notice I almost left one out. Now I'm going to run into my 5-number summary, but that's okay. So now it looks like I've got 27, 28, 30, 30, 30. And now that I've got that done, I'm still going to go back. Sorry about this thing blinking. These cameras, I swear to gosh. Okay. Apparently it didn't like being that close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So when you do these, make sure you write each number down, take it off as you go, and then count after you're done to make sure you've used every number. Now I've used every number. Now I'm going to set up to make my box and whisker plot. I need to have my 5 numbers. I need my minimum. I need my maximum. I need my Q1, my median, and my Q3. And remember, median is Q2. So to find it, I have to find 3 medians, basically. That's really all you're doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So I'd have 6 in the lower half, 6 in the upper half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a little trick. You didn't notice how to do it last time for your median. So I know the median is the average of these two, which is 25. Now I need my Q1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. Right here is going to be my middle number. 24 plus 22 divided by 2 will give me 23. So my Q1 is 23. And I can write this in already. I know my minimum is 18. I know my maximum is 30. Now I need to find my Q3. 3 up top, 3 in the bottom. So it's right here, the number right between 28 and 30. So you can add them up and find it, but hopefully you know 29 is right in the middle. Okay? So now to make your box and whisker plot, I'll actually do this with marker to make it a little bit nicer. First, just mark your first 5 numbers. So I know the lowest one was 18. I'll put a dot there. My next one was 23. That's a line. My next one was 25. That's a line. My next one was 29. That's a line. And then 30 is a dot. So your min and max are dots. All the other ones are lines. Now, just make a box and connect to the whiskers. Then you have your box and whisker plot. Okay. Now, let's go into our next part of the notes, the percents. I already talked about these, but let's go through them real quick. What percent of the data is at or below Q1? Well, Q1 is the first quarter. How much money is in a quarter? Well, 25% would be it, so 25%. What percent of the data is at or below Q2? 50% of the data runs all the way up here. And make sure it makes sense with your numbers. Remember, right here was Q1, and it matches up with the numbers right there. 1, 2, 3. 25% of all the data is this line. And I hope you guys notice the size of the lines. So here is 50%. What percent of the data is below Q3? 75%. Because remember, each group represents 25%, 3 groups up till here. What percent of the data is above Q3? So now we're saying how much is left up here. That's 25% above. Okay. Now, this is where we need to do some analyzation. It's going to come in later on, but I think now's a great time to talk about it. Can you guys see that this line is shorter than this line? Now take a second and answer this question yourself. How many people represent this line and how many represent this line? And you can see it in your answers for below Q1 and above Q3. Don't you notice we got the same number for here and here? That means this line represents 25% of the data. This line represents 25% of the data. Why is one line longer? Well, that's what we're analyzing, the spread of the data. So if I was going to look at this, the 25% of the youngest people that are on this hike, their ages are very spread out. When you get to the older people, they're very close together. Well, probably because many older people don't go, so they all happen to be the same age or whatever you want to think about. But this is stuff that people use to analyze for commercials. Nike does it. Everyone does it. This is something that you will need to understand for your future. This is just a good thing to understand. Now, that is going to conclude example 1. But on the next video, I'm not going to do example 2 yet. I'm actually going to go back and show you how to do example 1 on Desmos. So the next video will be labeled example 1 with Desmos. Thank you very much. I hope that ended it. It did.